I'm not paying Ohio State University's tuition to get a University of Phoenix experience. You know what I'm saying? Hey YouTube world, it's KG. When the University of California closed all their campuses, it became very real to me very quickly that I might not be returning back to Ohio State's campus in the fall. And while that's the worst case scenario, it's good to be prepared. Corona has scammed so many of us out here. How can we get her back? Number one is your financial aid package. Now, a lot of our finances are looking a little bit different. Like the FAFSA takes not just last year's tax information, but the year before. So say you had a really great 2018, and you had like an okay 2019. And now we're all seeing what 2020 is, and personally, I would like to know the return policy. And all of these factors, whether they're coronavirus related or not, can really change your EFC. The EFC is your estimated family contribution. So that is what the government thinks your parents are going to give to you based on their income from 2 years prior to the school year you're about to start. So for August 2020, you calculate an EFC based on your 2018 tax income. Remember 2018? Going outside, hanging out with our friends and hugging people. Federal FAFSA deadline is always June 30th, but the sooner you can file it, the better. But what if you already filed your financial aid and it's still looking a little too skinny or too slim? Well, this is where I call on you to reach down and pull out the Karen that sits inside of us all, specifically a Karen towards your financial aid office. What you need to do is send a letter documenting all the things that have changed for you in the past year, whether they're coronavirus related or not. Anything like
illness, loss of a parent's income, decrease in income, loss of a job, furloughs.
All of these can get you more financial aid, or at least it makes it harder for your school to tell you we're not reviewing your package. Well, you might be wondering, how do I even start this letter? So Form Swift, Chef's Kiss. Essentially, it's a website that helps you format your financial aid appeal letter. So you create a document at formswift.com, and then they help you with all the steps that you need to make a letter that be formatted correctly for a financial aid officer to read. So it helps you skip all the bureaucracy stuff, the stupid stuff that gets you distracted from actually what's important, which is getting this money. On the right, you'll see that the letter is all filled out with everything, and it's a beautiful template, and then you can attach all the documentation that these offices need to be able to say, all right, here you go, here's your new financial aid. It's wonderful, it's super helpful, and even though we really shouldn't be out here, begging for money from our financial aid advisors, it's a really helpful tool. At the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed. We keeping our mouths open all 2020 unless we're outside, in which we're going to close them and wear a mask so we don't get sick. This is giving me a little bit high school social studies teacher who really only teaches because he wants to coach basketball. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Just try. There's no point in not shooting your shot for this money, because at the end of the day, that's money, that's financial aid that if you don't get, you're going to have to pay for. Might as well try and get it while you still can. The second thing you should consider before enrolling in classes for fall 2020 is deferral. A deferral is when you decide to not necessarily stop your admission, but just say, hey, I'm going to take you up on this offer a semester or a year later. So what that college does is they'd hold your spot for you and they wouldn't over-admit. So you'd have a seat in all your classes. I know this is not the traditional route for most folks, but think, does this college deserve my money if we're just going to be doing everything online? Do I want to get an online experience? Also, will I even do the work? There are some technicalities with deferment. One, does your school hold on to your merit scholarships? Ohio State's website, for an incoming freshman, yes, they would hold on to your merit-based scholarships and also your honors and scholars status if you decide to defer. But not every college is like Ohio State. be sure to check out their policy on financial aid. When it comes to the FAFSA, more than likely they're just going to have you refile. Things have changed and it'll probably be better in your interests to refile later because you may get more funding if your finances have changed due to Corona. Say you're in Columbus and you're an Ohio State incoming freshman and you said, OSU, go Bucks, but I'ma just defer and wait an extra year, and then I'm gonna go to Columbus State, go Cougs, take some prereqs that'll be much cheaper, and even if they're online, the classes will be easier. While that may sound like a really good idea, like you're hacking the system because you're keeping scholarships on lock while you're taking much cheaper discounted courses, OSU might tell you, if you wanna cheat on me, you gotta do it while you're still with me. It's polygamy or bust. They can tell you that, which sucks. Very anti-student. More often than not, the best thing that you can do is contact your financial advisor. Why was I saying that? Your academic advisor will be the one to best answer all of these questions because a lot of schools are changing their policies as we're going along. To your financial aid office, because we're all about that money, they're getting paid to answer these questions for you. So take up their time. If you have a laundry list of questions that you want to ask them. Are you going to be charging a lower rate of tuition if classes are online? Out-of-state students, will you be getting a discount because your learning isn't in another state anymore? Big brain moves, all 2020. I worked in first year experience for a year, so I know that these offices, they take notes on students. So don't phrase it like you're actually deferring, because if you sound like you're gonna defer, they will write down we need to keep this student. So you gotta ask them in a way like, hey, hypothetically speaking, if someone wanted to defer, what types of scholarships would they still be able to keep? Sounds completely different. You didn't ask about yourself. You could be asking about your great-granddad's cat owner's niece. And another great resource to look at before you decide to defer is transferology.com. Essentially, you put in your college and you put in a community college. And I'm just going to use Ohio State because it's what I know. You put in Ohio State information. You put in your other school's information. And you see what classes equal each other. So this is Editing KG, and I'm just going to show you how classes transfer. So say I'm an Ohio State student and I'm looking to transfer my classes to another program. I can look up my classes at OSU, type in maybe English classes, and see all the classes in English, and I click the one that I took, English Comp. And from there you can see what schools would accept that credit. So it's me taking my credits to another school, and you can even search by zip code, see which ones are close to you, which ones are far away. On the other side of the screen, you can see how big it is, how expensive it is. You can filter by tuition, on campus, off campus, online. So that's really helpful. If you're looking for programs that you can take a class that you don't want to take at your home school, you can look up the class at your school. So for me, what about Physiology 3200? You can look up that and then find other schools that offer a class that OSU will accept in return. So it looks like UC would be the place to go if you don't want to take it. And I do really want to recognize and acknowledge that your worth is not determined by your productivity. If you don't do anything in this next year that necessarily sounds like I'm, discovering for the cure for cancer, or I'm going to NASA, or I'm interning for Jeff Bezos, all of those things, all those titles are rented. Because at the end of the day, something could happen, Miss Rona, and take it all away. You don't have to pursue an opportunity just because you're not in school. What you decide to you is up to you and what is best for your own personal goals, your own mental health, your physical health, and your financial wellness. This is not meant to assume that everybody is on the same playing field. I just wanted to put the sentiment out there because I know there are some people who are wondering what they can do with their time if they don't necessarily feel comfortable going to online school. Words of affirmation are not my love language, but if you've made it this far, you know what? I'm proud of you. You done did it. You did the thing. I don't know what thing you're doing, but you're doing it. And it's great. It's enough. It's brought you here. So, good job. I'm proud of you. Be proud of yourself. My name is KG, aka your older sister, and I'll see you on the internet somewhere.